The issue begins with Luthor bringing Dick Grayson back to life with adrenaline. The doors crashes open and the grid falls to the floor. Cyborg is back. He advises our heroes that the other Leaguers can be rescued from inside of Firestorm, whom is held a few levels down. The heroes proceed to Firestorm and Luthor will take on the Syndicate. Elsewhere, Deathstorm advises Ultraman that Alexander Luthor is free. Ultraman asks where Superwoman is, but suddenly she appears with the new enemy and states that Alexander is the father of her unborn child. Ultraman asks the treacherous witch why. She replies, because Alex is stronger than you, Clark, and my child must be protected at all costs. Alexander and Ultraman engage in battle as the Injustice League regroups and watches on. Alexander manages to knock Ultraman unconscious as Superwoman dodges Deathstorm's attacks. She manages to trap him with her lasso, and the two ends Deathstorm's life by crushing his head. Deathstorm erupts, but Sinestro manages to shield the group with his ring. Now, Alexander turns his focus on the Injustice League. He takes out Deathstroke and then attacks Manta with his new speed powers leached from Johnny Quick. He now turns his focus on Luthor, but Bizarro interrupts their fight and makes it his own. They engage, but Alexander comes out victorious and he flies off to find Superwoman. After mourning the loss of his monster, Luthor formulates a plan with the remaining villains. Luthor deduces that it will take the Shazam lightning to turn Alexander back to human form. Black Adam will shout Shazam after Sinestro repairs his mouth. Back in the fallen satellite, the heroes find the chambers of Firestorm. They begin to pull the Justice League out of Firestorm, but Arrowman attacks from the shadows. Grayson engages Arrowman, stating, "You are not going to stop us." Surprisingly, Arrowman says that he isn't there to stop them, but wants to see them win. In the skies, Sinestro engages Alexander and jabs a lightning rod into his chest. With a repaired mouth, courtesy of Sinestro, Adam shouts, "Shazam!" Lightning rips through the skies and Superwoman screams in agony, but Alexander is unfazed. Now, Alexander turns his focus on Luthor. As Alexander gloats about how he is stronger than his counterpart from this Earth, Luthor deduces that they sound exactly alike. As he grabs a rod, Luthor shouts, "Shazam!" Lightning races through the skies and strikes Alexander, turning him back into his human form. Luthor punctures his chest and states that he is smarter. Alexander Luthor is now dead. With barely a second to bathe in his victory, Luthor is attacked by the weakened Ultraman, but Sinestro and Adam moves the moon, causing the sun rays to further weaken Ultraman. During this time, the Justice League is now released from their imprisonment within Firestorm. Luthor rejects Ultraman's plea to end his pathetic life. Instead, Luthor kills Atomica by stepping on her. The Justice League, now freed, seeks a way to help the dying Superman. Luthor steps in and offers assistance. The scene jumps to Superman awake and face to face with his enemy and savior. Later that day, on the rooftop, Luthor takes a moment with his Injustice League before they all disband permanently. Gotham City. After having his identity revealed, Dick Grayson is sent on a dangerous mission, presumably leaving Gotham City. LexCorp. Ted Kord enters the offices of Lex. He offers to sell his father's industry, but Lex refuses and says that he must keep it for the sake of family. Ted ends the conversation by stating that everyone's right about you, Luthor. You are one of the good guys. Alone again, Luthor deduces that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Owlman has gone missing and Ultraman won't stop sobbing in his cell. Wonder Woman questions Superwoman about the red tear in the sky. Superwoman smirks and says that her baby kicked. Elsewhere, Superman states that there is only one being capable of destroying a world. He's still out there. Darkseid is returning. Elsewhere in space and time, a servant tells his master, the Anti-Monitor, that he will find another universe for him to consume. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island, and today I'm so excited to bring you my review of Forever Evil issue 7. So I think everyone can agree that Luthor is the major star of the show here. The epic battle between Alexander and everyone was just awesome, but how Luthor used his own voice to command the Shazam powers to strike Alexander, that blew my mind. On the subject of Luthor, we get to see the introduction of a very young Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle. It was teased a few issues back during that helicopter crash, but now we see Ted and his Blue Beetle t-shirt, which can only mean that we will hopefully be seeing our favorite blue bug down the road. So Luthor declined the purchase of Kord Industries, and from what I gathered, Luthor is changing and is very different from his pre-52 counterpart. I actually really like this. I love anti-heroes and I'm hoping to see more of Luthor's evil ways for saving the day. So the crime syndicate has been defeated but are not gone. Grid, Power Ring, Atomica, Johnny Quick, Deathstorm, and Alfred are all dead, but the key players are still out there. Superwoman and her unborn baby is locked up with Ultraman, but Owlman is still out there. He seems to share a special bond with Dick Grayson, stating, "I'm not giving up on you and I being a team again." This tells me that the Syndicate will be future heavy players down the road. I find Owlman to be more exciting than the other two though. I believe this Owlman is actually Thomas Wayne from Earth 3. If done right, him and Bruce can have a really interesting relationship. Nightwing ends, but Grayson will debut, so I guess Owlman will be a key player in Grayson's future journeys. Alright, at the end we find out that the red tear in the sky is the Anti-Monitor. The Justice League thinks that Darkseid is coming back, but the true enemy is the main antagonist of the Crisis on Infinite Earth story arc. The Anti-Monitor seems to require more power from universes before he takes on Darkseid. I'm very curious to know how these two powerful villains are connected, and I'm super excited to see what happens next. So I have a question for you. How did you like the Forever Evil issues? Do you enjoy the new changed Luthor? Please let me know in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching my review of Forever Evil issue 7. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.